Hi everyone, and welcome to the Supper Club Social Episode 6. Today we're talking about Ozark Season 4, Episode 5, covering the Old Fashioned cocktail because it appears in our Movie of the Week, Crazy Stupid Love. We have a few home bar happy hour updates and a restaurant review. But let me first introduce the co-host of co-hosts, Roy Cephas Smith.
Yes.
Roy Cephas, there we go.
Yeah, I guess I got a new first name. Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, we saw that on the R.I.P.D. movie, and I just had to use it. You look like a Roy Cephas.
Well played. And that's part of our crazy matrix.
Yeah, no kidding.
Of movies.
That is too funny. We'll explain that later here. Yeah. But let's pop into our little intro section here. Some shout outs of people that we've interacted with online since we started the podcast, pretty much. I would get in trouble if I didn't mention the one and only Marsha Johnson first.
Oh, yeah. Can't leave her out.
That's it's my mom.
Should give us both an earful.
Hell of a lady, yeah. We had Lauren Kennedy got involved on Facebook trying to guess what the Harvey Wallbanger drink was when we posted that. I think that's her last name. It might not be, but didn't write any of these down, so shooting from the hip. A friend of mine, Ty Poffenroth, got involved. Roy, can you remember anybody else that we need to mention?
Scott Wilhelm helped us make the last logo artwork that we had.
Yeah.
With the green letters,
the
blue background.
The SCS, kind of like that, but with green. Nice, good deal.
And then both our wives for letting us do this.
Both our wives
in your basement at all different hours.
Oh man, they're saints, you know.
Yeah. We've done some at 9. We've done some at 10 in the morning.
What were we drinking at 9 and 10 in the morning?
The Dubonnaise.
The
last episode we were here at like 9 in the morning.
Boy, I felt like Dorothy.
That was
drinking Dubonnaise in the morning.
That was a long night.
That was. We made Dubonnaise all night that night for whoever would drink them.
A bunch of other stuff.
Cool. Well, how has life on the bus been and life in general been?
Oh, not bad. Out in Cheney's pretty easy, but then tonight they got all these new sporting things downtown. So they had something at the arena.
Oh.
And they had something preparation for something happening at the podium.
Oh,
and they got Washington right there by Boone.
Yeah.
One lane.
Ooh,
construction.
Of course, naturally.
And so there's cars backed up, so I'm like, I'm going to take this other way and go between the podium and where they're going to put that new soccer field.
Yeah.
And then I get to the longest light in Spokane probably, and I go to turn, just some girl on her cell phone.
Oh, boy.
Just down, taking slow little steps.
Yeah.
I'm watching the little ticker go down. I'm like, come on. Yeah. Like, you can see the yellow, like, in front of you flashing. Like, that means get going.
Yeah.
The ticker's not for you to take it all.
Right.
It's like, put some little pep in your step.
People, I think they just slowed. There's two rules of life. Like, people slow down in a crosswalk, and whenever they're telling your phone number to them, they go, 509 zibbity-dibbity.
Yeah. No, man, you got to freaking high knee it across those, man. I want to see some speed.
Yeah. I heard you and your wife Andrea were shopping and had a little thingy pop up.
That was last weekend, the weekend before maybe.
Yeah, I think 2 weeks ago.
And then we had this neighbor that used to live around the block from us. We'd see him on our walks, and he moved away. And then we were at Target, and we come around the corner, like the toy section, electronics. And my wife sees him, and she's like, "Oh my God! Like, it's you! I haven't seen you in forever."
Yeah.
And he's just looking at her like, "I don't know.
Not quite.
I don't know who you are, lady."
Right.
And she's like, "Oh, it must be the masks."
Yeah.
And so she pulls her mask down, and he's like,
"Still not working."
Nope. And she like hits him in the arm, like, "Go, quit playing with me." And he goes, Pat has a twin brother, right?" And then she's like, "Oh my God, yes, I do know that."
Oh, she did know?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
But they're legit identical.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if they were standing next to each other, you wouldn't know who was who.
I like how she even smacks him.
Yeah, assaulted the guy. Never met him before.
Right.
And and so he was like, "Well, this happens more than you would think to me, but I'll let him know I'm going to see him tonight." And then she just ducked into like the baby toys.
Just got out of there.
Yeah. And we're standing there like not moving. I'm like, this is a little young for the kid we're shopping for here. And she's, oh, I'm just trying to get out of the situation.
Nice.
It was so funny. And then we found out that a couple of other friends have had that
Yeah,
same
did
type of
the
encounter
same
with
thing.
them. Yeah.
I think he was at a barber shop.
Yeah.
And was like, shut up, man. Like,
Yeah.
what? He didn't know. I don't think he knew that he had a brother.
Well, yeah, and he even had a different kid with him. Like, his actual twins kid. Like, he had his kid with him, not
Right.
Pat's kids.
Yeah.
And she still is just like, oh, come on. And she has a very distinct voice.
Yeah.
And so, if you know it, you know it.
And I can just, she kind of probably,
Yeah. She was like, oh, God.
right.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
I'm glad
that
she
was
dodged
pretty
that
funny.
with some
Yeah.
dignity, you know,
I had a
left
good
over.
kick out of it. But yeah, it's so funny.
Man, I've had a pretty mundane week. It's kind of like one of my last weeks of sitting around doing nothing
Yeah.
before I have to start cleaning up the world one piece of window or one window at a time. So I haven't had a heck of a lot. Man, I did mess with Carter again, but I cannot think of what happened. It'll come to me at some point.
Talk about his garage sale.
His garage sale?
Yeah.
Oh, or he's coming out. Oh, man. Yeah, so he's 13. He's a really good kid, but he's a 13-year-old punk.
Yeah,
also.
he's rebelling a little bit.
And he's always kind of flipping us crap, wanting to do weird stuff. Like the new thing is these white shoes that he had to have, and he put in shoe creases or shoe crease defenders so they don't get that thing in the toe. And we're at a restaurant we covered, Outlaw, probably a week or two ago. And it's freezing out, and he also doesn't wear coats anymore because he's too cool. So we're leaving the restaurant. He tries to pass me. You walk through a bunch of parked cars.
Yeah.
Tries to pass me. I kind of block him with the baby, so he respects the baby. He doesn't. But that just kind of irritated him even more. So then when we get through the cars, he books it around me, and like 5 steps into this jog. Okay, so the shoes he also doesn't tie.
Yeah, and they were too big.
They're too big. Yeah. He starts losing the shoe and does a whole airplane like weave and thing to try to keep the shoe on, ends up biffing it in the middle of the parking lot. The shoe flies off, and I just couldn't help it. I just started dying laughing because it was just so perfect. I mean, he didn't get hurt or anything, just his teenageness
so
got hurt. But then he goes, oh man, could you imagine what my shoes would look like if I didn't have the crease defenders in there?
But they did get dirty, and I could see the pain in his eyes when he showed them to me.
Recently, he dropped like some strawberry juice goo or something at school, like right on the shoelace. So I picked him up from school, and he's like, "Dad, do you think you can wash shoelaces?" And I was like, "That has never occurred to me."
Yeah. Normally, you just get a new pair.
I think you just get new laces. They'd get caught in the washer. Like you can't.
Yeah, they get stuck.
They go through the holes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's always he's a fun time. On the high notes are fun. The other side is not very fun.
No, when you and Amy told me that story, I was laughing so hard.
It cracked me up. Just watching him totally yard sale, arms flailing, legs everywhere, the shoes are flying off, and it's all because he's like cold, can't wear a coat, won't wear shoes that fit.
Yeah, got to be the first one in the door.
I was laughing so hard.
That's hilarious.
Oh, well, how's the meme game this week, Roy?
Oh, we got a
pretty
couple.
strong. Pretty strong.
Now that Bubba's done, they're not quite as good,
Oh, yeah, you got to start saying
I got to try to find some
that
I have some that aren't very appropriate, so I try not to do those.
That's right, let's do them. Let's get nasty.
Well, I don't have
this
any right
week. now.
I just have a couple.
I like that one.
Yeah, I got this one. It's Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
And I think that was his first big role, was Train Spotting.
Yeah, I think
when he
so.
plays like a heroin addict.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a side-by-side photo of him in Train Spotting, and then him as Obi-Wan in the Star Wars movies. And it says, "Never forget that Obi-Wan overcame a heroin addiction to become a Jedi."
It truly is mind over matter.
Yeah. You can do anything if you put your mind to it.
That's right. He came a long way.
Yeah. And then this other one I have.
Speaking of him, we got 89 days till this show starts? Not that I'm keeping track.
So it's a photo of like the back light in the car.
Yeah.
For the kids. 7-year-old me switching on the car light for 1 second. And then it's a photo of Seinfeld talking to a kid. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing, you piece of shit? I can't stand it.
Have you seen the ones where it's like an adult talking about what he thought would happen if he turned on the dome light, and the picture is just the kid turning it on, and then like a distant shot of the car on the freeway just exploding?
Yeah. I have seen those. That's so good. Well, that is the worst, man.
Yeah.
Like the glare. We have these lights on the bus at night. And, man, they're the worst, man. You can't see anything. We got these, like, plexiglass shields now because of COVID.
Oh, yeah.
And so just all the glare, you're just looking at, like, a blue light in front of you instead of the road. So if no one's on my bus, I always shut them off. It's like I can't see anything.
Yeah.
Especially if it's raining or snowing hard. Good grief.
Good. Forget about it.
Yeah. And the last one I got today, it's gas price is going to have us all like, and it's Dumb and Dumber when they're on the little moped like together.
Frozen together at that point.
Yeah.
Just go, man.
And I stole that one from one of our friends, Justin.
Oh,
Edmonds.
nice.
He posted that today on Facebook, and I had to steal it.
Shout out to Justin. I should probably not tell a story, but he is in like a clan doing the Discord stuff, playing like those, I don't know.
A video game clan.
Yeah.
Not the clan.
Not the clan, no. Yeah, that's good clarification there. Not that anybody would ever assume that, Roy. But anyway, he plays video games, and it's kind of like Carter has to play with them. And every now and then I hear some like clan talk, I guess, but not clan talk. Yeah. So Carter, like,
I'm glad I made this really awkward for you.
I don't know. I can think about it. So I'll hear him say like, "Oh, I got promoted to Elderman."
Yeah.
So now every time it comes up, I'll be like, "Hey, Cart, ask Justin if I can join the clan, but I get my own special title."
Yeah.
And then Justin said no, and I always razz Carter. I'm like, "Hey, seriously, if you're not in my clan, then I will not listen to you. I am your Elderman. You will do what I say." Just go on and on with him. It's so much fun when they start getting older and they can get messed with.
Well, I haven't got there yet.
Oh, just wait for it. I don't know. How will it go with the girl getting it to 13? Can you mess with them as the same way as a boy?
I don't think so. But man,
probably in different ways.
She knows how to get under my skin pretty good.
Yeah. She's a sweetheart.
Oh, yeah, for the most part. But, man, she has her moments. It's like, who are you?
Yeah.
Like, where did you come from?
What doesn't kill us makes us stronger, Roy.
Yeah.
I thought you would have learned that in the desert.
Yeah.
You're learning it at home.
Yeah, I learned quite a
10-year-old daughter. Well, that's all I got for memes.
Yeah.
How about we move it on to one of our favorite segments of this week here.
Let's see if you can get it right.
Oh, I'll get it right.
All right, people, grab your seat. It's time for supper.
It's supper club time.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is. The Onion.
Yes.
North Division. I've got nothing in front of me about that place, but it looks like you got the menu pulled up.
I do.
Is the address on there?
You want me to take a gander here, sir?
Look, can't you just ask your brand new phone, please zoom in to quadrant 4?
No.
Do you even know how to work it?
Not yet, really. I'm trying to figure it out. They have 2 locations. One is on North Division.
Yeah.
Like across from the old Costco, if you've lived here long enough. And then the other one is downtown on Riverside in like Howard or something like that, or
something
Bernard.
like that.
Riverside and Bernard.
Thanks for not finding the address.
Yeah, it's 302 West Riverside.
There you go.
And then the one on North Division, 7522 North Division.
There we go.
And they're both good. I've ate at both locations. The downtown one more, surprisingly.
Oh, really?
For me, yeah.
I've had the North Division
I used to
one
be
more.
in a beard club, and that was like a go-to spot for like meetings.
Beard club, huh?
Yeah. Back in my modeling days.
Let's just move on. No one's interested about that, Roy.
Yeah. But it was they did a lot of good stuff, but I think it's gone now.
Yeah. All clubs come and go,
Yeah.
Except supper clubs.
That's right. It's
supper
here
clubs
forever.
remain.
But it's really good. We've ate there, I don't even know how many times as my family, and then we've gone with you guys a few times.
Yeah. It's a go-to.
Yeah, and if you're going out for your birthday, if you want a good dessert, that's the place to go.
Yeah, that's
a huge sundae, whipped cream, all the toppings. It's ginormous. You could feed. Well, we fed our whole table when we went for your birthday.
Yeah, we had 50 kids there.
Yeah, it's ginormous.
The best way to do it is it gets there, an adult grabs all the spoons.
Yeah.
adults have like one bite, and then you just
Divvy
throw
it
the
up.
spoons towards the middle of the table
Yeah.
and watch that thing disappear.
Yeah, it's really good. What do you normally get when you go there, Ryan?
I get the pepper steak sandwich, Roy.
Nice, that is a good choice.
It is so it's pepper steak sauce with this pepper steak sandwich. It's like a hoagie roll, sliced steak in there. I think you can put cheese and horseradish and stuff on it, but you want to skip all that. The real secret is dipping it into the sauce. It's like the Elkins peppercorn sauce. I'm not sure what the Elkins part of it is, if maybe the original chef came from Elkins Resort in northern Idaho, but yeah, that even if I go there and don't get that, I still get the sauce as a side.
It's good. I tried it after we went with you guys a couple times, and I had it like the next 3 times I went there. I got that.
Yeah. I always try to sweet talk the waiter or waitress. I'm like, hey, has anybody ordered this pepper steak thing? And they'll be like, yes or no. I'm like, hey, is there any extra sauce that you can just spill into a ramekin?
From
and
someone else's plate?
Yeah. Because, they'll charge for a side.
Yeah.
So it's just more fun. I think I usually get charged, but
Yeah.
I'm
sure they charge you extra. I normally, before I started doing that pepper steak, I used to get the Big O burger. And it's a huge onion ring, and then like a patty of beef, obviously, and then all the toppings, And I always get a side of onion rings. They have really good onion rings there.
Oh, the onion rings there are.
Yeah.
I can't think of better onion rings. They're solid. I mean, it's
good.
called Onion.
So that should be good.
They're definitely unique. So there's probably other onion rings that are just fine out there too. But these ones, I've never had them quite like.
Yeah, and they're always good size too. You don't get like those little tiny ones.
Yeah,
they're always a nice, like, you take one bite and the whole thing comes out.
Right. No, these things are legit.
Well, yeah, that's what I get. And then whatever IPA is on tap typically.
Yeah, they've got, I think their tap house.
51 taps.
Yeah, 51 taps, and
at least the one on North Division.
Yeah, I don't think they call that. They don't. It's not a.
It's like a dual thing.
Yeah. Oh, is it? It's
like 51 taps and the Onion.
Yeah.
Or Area 51 taps.
That's where I discovered that cold smoke Scotch ale from Kettle Falls, I think.
Nope.
Kettle
Missoula.
something.
Kettle House Brewing in Missoula.
Boy, I'm glad
Montana.
I can't just reach across the table and punch you in the face right now.
I've been there, Ryan. It's a cool place. Cool brewery if you're ever in Missoula.
Scotch ale. I'm kind of done with hops for temporarily, so
until summer gets here.
Yeah, until I can't resist anymore. Let's see. We've covered our favorite things, where they're at. They're a local restaurant. We actually kind of know we're friends with the daughter. How do you say it?
I don't know how it works.
Anyway, like
our friends related to the prior owners or current owners.
Prior or something. Anyway, so they're a local restaurant is what I'm trying to say. It's not a chain, and it's really good food.
Yeah. I've never had a bad order there. It's always come out great.
Nice. Yeah, same here. And they've got a really nice Harley up in the
downtown one.
Mounted. Yeah. Oh, in both places.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've never noticed it in the one up north.
I'm pretty sure. I'll
Roy. Take your word for it.
Just don't. Let's just move on.
If anybody knows, message me now.
Right, yeah. This is a live broadcast. Just chime in. We're opening up the phone lines.
Yeah. Oh, we got a call right now?
Yeah. That guy Ryan's full of shit.
Yeah.
All right, Roy. Well, should we keep it moving here? You got anything to say to wrap up the Onion?
Nope. I mean, just go give it a shot. Both locations are great. Parking at the one on North Division is a little bit better because there's like a huge shopping center next to it.
Yeah.
Downtown, it's a little tricky.
Downtown's cool though. I mean, it's
a cool location.
Yeah, they're both good spots. All right, here we go. It's time to dive into the segment of the week. Segment of the week.
Let's get it going.
Here we are. We have found ourselves arrived at crazy, stupid love, Roy.
Yes.
It's a pretty good description of what love is.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It's crazy. It's lovely.
Yes.
The drink is the
Old Fashioned, but it could have been about 50 other drinks.
Yeah.
If you ever watched this movie.
They only actually name the vodka cran in it.
Yeah.
They never even say.
But then there's like a gin drink with like lime in it.
Yeah.
At one point, then there's
takes place in a bar. For
the most part, yeah.
They do a little slow motion like creation of a old fashioned later in there. So
yeah.
Good deal. Well, I'm gonna whip this old fashioned up while you get started on the movie, and then after you're done, we'll talk about the drink and go from there.
All right, sounds good. So this is the first time I think I've actually watched this movie start to finish.
Oh, wow.
I've always caught it like halfway through, or I started watching it and left, or Andrea already had it on at some point.
Yeah.
And so I kind of made it unbearable for her watching it, because I'm like, oh yeah, like, isn't this gonna happen next? And she's
Right.
like, oh, I thought you said you haven't seen it. I'm like, well, no, I've seen parts of it. But it's a great movie. It's Crazy Stupid Love. It was done in 2011, PG-13, an hour and 58 minutes.
Yeah.
Which seems to be
I was surprised
a
it was
theme.
PG-13. I was
Well,
expecting it to be.
I've been surprised by a lot of ratings that we've done on movies.
That's true.
So, that's the basics. The cast: Steve Carell, who plays Cal; Ryan Gosling plays Jacob; Julianne Moore plays Emily; Emma Stone as Hannah; Leo Tipton as Jessica the babysitter; Jonah Bobo. I can't believe that's his real last
Jonah
name.
Bobo? Who's that?
That is Robbie.
Oh, really?
It's Cal's son. Joey King is Molly, who doesn't really have a big role. She's the youngest daughter.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't even know she was in the movie till the end of it. I was like,
Yeah.
who's it next to them?
Marissa Tomei is Kate, and good old Kevin Bacon is David Lindhagen.
Lindhagen.
But yeah, it's a pretty good all-star cast.
Yeah.
There's a couple other people in the movie that have been in like good cameo, or not cameos, but like supporting actors in small roles in other movies.
Yeah.
But that's the main cast.
Steve Carell is just and
so
Ryan
good.
Gosling are so good in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve is the best.
Bounce off each other so good.
Yeah. It's impressive, actually.
Yeah. So let's get into this movie here. We did the 30-minute segments each, so I'll do 30 minutes. Ryan did the next, then I did so on and so forth.
Yeah. Party time.
Ryan keeps getting lucky with the last 30 minutes, which is always shorter because you get the credits.
I think it's only fair, Roy. You know, I'm doing all the tech stuff over here.
That's true.
All our YouTube fans
That's
can see
true.
that I have the computer facing me.
Yeah. Is that why you reconfigured the table? Get more credit for your tech support?
Right, exactly.
All right, so the movie opens with Cal and Emily at like a fancy restaurant having what seems to be an anniversary dinner or some sort of occasion. And they're at the end, and they can't decide what they want for dessert. And so Cal's like, oh, let's just say it at the same time, right? Like 1, 2, 3. And he says some sort of dessert. And Emily, his wife, says, I want a divorce. And like the restaurant goes like silent.
That was brutal.
That was brutal. Could you imagine, like, that's the setting where you get, like, nowhere private,
Yeah,
like, just
why?
randomly off guard at a restaurant.
I think they're kind of setting up that it's just been on her mind for a while and had
Well,
to come
yeah,
out
but
whenever it
still,
came
like,
out.
that would be brutal.
Not
And,
ideal. Not ideal.
No. Hopefully I never have to go through that. And I hope none of my friends ever have to go through that, because I don't want to. Well, I guess I've had friends that have gone through that, and it is pretty brutal. Now that I think about it, it was a long time ago, but it's a weird situation to be. I mean, it's hard for them, but
It's hard on
strain on
everybody.
your friends and family and
Yeah.
everything else, too. So,
In the end, you want everyone to be happy,
Yeah.
but
and then at the same time, you cut to the house where the kids are being babysat, and they're like picking up for the night, and like the daughter knocks over some photo, breaks the glass,
yeah.
and the babysitter gets real creepy and like covers up Emily's face in the photo,
Yeah.
and so you can just see Cal, Steve Carell's character, and like you kind of find out that she has a weird like daddy thing
Little thing
going on for the Steve Carell's character Cal.
I was telling Amy, I don't really like that whole storyline.
Yeah,
Like,
it's creepy.
It doesn't even need to be in there.
No, it just makes it weird in a lot of the movie.
You'll be happy
And
to
it's
know
like,
I successfully dipped my finger in your entire
Oh,
drink.
good, I'm glad.
So
That's a Lund Bar specialty. You can't get that anywhere, people. You have to be here live.
that's right.
At least you're using a real stir stick and not like a twig.
Yeah, we've come a long way.
Yeah, we have.
It's been a journey.
And then she goes to make sure that Robbie is like ready for bed. No knock, straight into a teenage boy's room.
Never.
And he's in there making a batch. And
Nice way of putting that,
yeah,
Roy.
he's in there making a batch, and you could obviously tell it's awkward for any situation for anyone to walk in on somebody doing that. And so she apologizes and walks out.
Oh.
And then that's the end of
Well,
that.
she's like 17 or 18.
Yeah,
and
she's
he's
17,
14.
he's 13.
Yikes.
Yeah, so there's a lot of weird stuff that kind of makes you feel awkward in this movie.
Yeah.
With some weird hormone changing in younger people's lives.
Yeah.
The way that they do it. is like worst case scenario. It seems like.
No kidding.
But and then she goes back downstairs, and then he shows up downstairs, and he's like, "Well, just so you know, I always think about you when I do it." And it's like, "Oh, don't tell me that. Like, it's enough."
Like never mind.
Yeah, it was so awkward, but I guess it had to be in the movie for some reason. They just had to have this storyline.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that gets weird. And then Cal and Emily show back up. Oh wait, no. They're coming home from the restaurant in the van.
Oh yeah.
And she's just talking about like, oh, I don't know how this could have happened or how we got here.
Right.
And he's like, just shut up. Like, please just stop talking about this.
No kidding.
He's like, if you don't stop talking about this, I'm going to jump out of the car.
She doesn't even really hear him say
she's
that.
not hearing him. And next thing you know, he's opening the door. They can't be, they're like in a neighborhood, so they're going like 25, 30, and he just falls out the door and just rolls down the street. And then,
you really feel for him. Like,
yeah.
That was,
I mean, he is just like the stereotypical suburban dad, man. He's got those sweet New Balance kicks.
Oh, yeah.
And not the snazziest wardrobe, but, you know, it gets the job done.
Right.
But, yeah, I felt bad for the guy.
It's a tough one.
Didn't
have to happen.
No, it sure didn't. My damn old David.
Fucking Lindhoffen.
Anyways, and so then they get home, and the baby's just like, oh my God, like, what happened? Are you okay? And then his kids are there, and he's just like, oh we're getting a divorce because of David Langerhagen or whatever. And then he's like, I'll drive you home. And then it's an awkward drive.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like thinking about doing something that makes it even more awkward.
Yep.
And it's just like, let's just get through this scene.
Yeah, it gets really... Yeah. And he's really preoccupied, so he's not queuing in.
Seeing it.
And
But yeah, she's really thinking about it hard. No pun intended on that one. But yeah, so it's a weird start of a movie. You get a lot of weird storylines going on.
Yeah.
You got a midlife crisis divorce thing happening.
There's
some weird adolescent hormones, and then some weird babysitter porn fantasy crap going on type of stuff.
It's about every like porn thing that's ever happened is
it's
starting
weird.
off in this show.
It's really weird. But yeah, and then that's your introduction to that family.
Yeah.
And then you cut to Hannah, who is played by Emma Stone, at a bar with her friend.
Right.
Who isn't she the girl from Crazy Rich Asians? No.
I was thinking it was the Mean Girls girl, like one of the. I don't know.
Anyways, she's in a lot of movies, but I didn't write her name because she's only in this movie for like 2 scenes. Mm-hmm. But she's a good comedic actress also. She's sitting there talking about having Conan O'Brien's baby. Yeah. And Hannah's like, oh, yeah, I'd totally do it. Like a cute little redheaded baby. and then Ryan Gosling, Jacob, comes from across the bar, and he puts down some pretty thick lines.
Yeah, he comes in pretty hot.
Yeah, which is his thing, it seems. You find out. But he's throwing down like, oh, I've been staring over there at you for the last 2 hours. It's the only thing I can stare at, and all this stuff. And then Emma Stone just tears him apart like, oh, what now? We're supposed to buy me a drink, then get you your car and go back and do it. And he's like, well, yeah, I guess. And she's like, I'm leaving. Let's go. And he's like, oh, that's fast.
Yeah.
And
she's
like,
used to getting everything he wants.
Jacob.
I liked it when he was like, you talking about a cat? Carrot? Huh?
Yeah.
I can't do him. He needs he's a little nasally.
He's trying to do like a New York, Boston-y kind of vibe, I think.
I would agree. Someone's going to pop into my mind that he reminds me of, and I can't think of it right now.
But yeah, so that's them. And so you got, pretty much it revolves around Cal, Emily, Hannah, Jacob.
Yep. For
the most part, those are
your players. Yeah.
And then you have a couple other people that come along. And then it cuts to Cal at work the next day, and he's like in his office. Yeah. And I don't know if this guy's his boss or like a supervisor or something.
Co-worker of some sort.
And he's like, oh man, I got those annual reports, looks real good.
Yeah.
And he's kind of awkward about it, like trying to pry without prying.
Yeah.
And he's like, who told you? And he's like, oh, someone heard you crying in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm getting a divorce. He's like, oh, just a divorce. We thought it was cancer.
We thought you all had cancer. Yeah.
It's like, oh, man, you really dodged a bullet on that one. And he's like, I'm getting a divorce.
Right.
It's like, yeah, it could have been cancer, though.
Could have been cancer.
And I'm like, oh, well, that's a guy looking on the bright side of things,
Yeah, no
like,
kidding.
you're still alive, and you don't have one of the worst diseases someone can get.
Yeah,
but
he's coming down from cancer to a divorce, so he's just happy for him.
yeah, he's up a notch.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I thought that was pretty funny. Like, I could totally see that happen,
Oh, yeah, especially in those big offices.
Yeah. Somebody hears someone crying in the bathroom, and the rumor mill starts, and next thing you know, you're down to cancer. But yeah, it was pretty good. And then it cuts to places real fast.
Yeah,
in this movie.
you're like in the bar,
like,
you're at work,
in the day,
yeah,
all over town, like people's different houses, apartments.
Yeah.
So I'm not chopping this up. Like, this is really how it's going. Like,
I trust you.
Yeah,
I trust you.
A little bit. Emily and Cal are back at their house, like he's getting ready to leave, and like go to his new apartment or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she's still again talking about like, oh, I don't know how this is happening. Like, this it must have been like this. It must have been this time in my life. And he's like, well, you're gonna need to fertilize this yard.
Oh yeah,
and then you're gonna really need to get the sprinkler system going really soon. Like complete, just dadding it out. Like, I gotta make sure my lawn is top notch. It's got to stay up where it's at.
That's one of my favorite little side things through the whole movie.
He cares about his yard. That is a true dad homeowner.
Yeah,
that's just in it to win the neighborhood yard.
Some would say if he put in the same amount of effort into his wife as he did to the lawn. It wouldn't be in this situation.
This would be a totally different movie. It'd be some creepy guy that just cared about his lawn. But yeah, so she's like trying to talk this out. And he's like, oh, just care about my yard. Just take care of my yard.
Yeah.
Like, I'm leaving. I'm done with you.
If it overwaters, you're going to want to turn off the auto setting. He's just muttering all this stuff.
And she's trying to have like a serious conversation in the background. But I mean, he's still probably in shock. Like, that got thrown on him.
I mean, he's got this moving truck there, and she's like, not
all about her.
Yeah.
She's trying to turn it, I think. Like, she caused the problem, but now she's trying to like make a reason why she did it.
Blame and
Which, I mean, I'm sure that's how it works, but
I don't know, Roy.
Anyways, and then Cal leaves, and then he's at the bar. And he's just like talking nonstop about David Linger. What is it? Linderhagen.
I don't remember. I can't remember because
Lindhagen.
Linderhagen or Hagen, because they say it both ways when they're.
It's an ongoing joke in the film about how to pronounce his last name. But he's the only character with a last name.
Yeah.
Everyone else is just first name.
Right.
Or Mr. So-and-so, Mrs. So-and-so.
Yeah.
But not good old Kevin Bacon's character.
Is my hair, I just realized I've been wearing a hat all day.
Yeah, it's a little poofy on one side.
Out there?
And you got like
the YouTube audience in for a surprise here.
What is it on Home Alone?
Got some
Harry and Marv.
Marv?
You got a little Marv going on.
Thanks for the compliment,
you're
Roy.
welcome.
Good. Okay, well, I'm glad I asked.
Let's see how we got there together.
Now I know. Yeah, it's better to know.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry to interrupt.
You can do that for Halloween. Yeah, and so he's at this bar.
That's what I get for Roy Cephas.
Yeah. See, now you're Marv, the Sticky Bandits or Wet Bandits, depending on which movie you like.
Right.
But enough for the sidetrack. Home Alone. And this goes on for like 3 nights in a row of him sitting at the bar, just bringing everybody down, talking about his divorce.
We all know about it.
Yeah,
we all know about it, Cal. Okay.
Yeah. And by this point, you've noticed that Jacob
has noticed
a ladies' man.
Yeah,
and he just is there to get ladies every night.
Yeah,
and he's sitting in this corner, and he's like, did he whistle at him or like snap his finger at him or says, "Hey, guy"?
Doesn't he just?
But he says something to get his attention first, I think.
I don't know. I don't remember.
He says like "Hey" or whistles.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, come on!" And then Steve Cal's just like, huh? Like, you talking to me? And he's like, "Come on!" And he calls him over, and he's drinking his little vodka cran through like the little cappuccino straws.
Yeah.
He goes, "Take those straws out of your mouth. Looks like you're sucking on a tiny swan or swans." Yeah,
must be like a
Jewish
way of talking about your unit.
Yeah, like it's a kind of sounds Jewish, like Hebrew.
Yeah,
your swans.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh yeah, you're a Cal." Yeah. Like, how do I know that?
Yeah.
How do I know that? Oh, I don't know. Because everyone here knows that.
Yeah.
And you're getting a divorce because of David Linderhagen.
Yeah.
Fucked your wife.
How would I know that?
Yeah.
Those intimate details about you.
Yeah. And he's like, I don't know. He's like, because everybody here knows it because that's all you've been talking about for the last 3 nights. And it's really bringing everybody down. And then he's like,
Exactly.
what? He's like, what happened to you, man? Like,
Yeah.
where'd you lose your manhood? Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to help you get it back. Meet me at the mall tomorrow.
I like it. It's a good setup to the
then,
movie.
Yeah. And then he gets up and gets the girl he was sitting with and leaves. And then Steve Carell's character is like, all right, see you later. Fancy face. Something
what he
like that.
says.
Yeah.
So many
Yeah,
of those
good,
things that
Good night, fancy face.
Steve Carell says, you would think he would say in real life. I
Yeah.
think that's what makes him such a good actor.
Yeah.
Like,
Because he always kind of plays that character.
yeah, is like if Dan in real life and Wedding Crashers guy had a baby, it's this character.
Isn't Ryan Gosling
Or not Wedding
and
Crashers.
Dan in real life?
No. Not going there.
I'll let you have that one.
I didn't mean Wedding Crashers. I meant 40-Year-Old Virgin. And Ryan Gosling's not in that either.
Yeah, I know that.
How's your Old Fashioned?
It's good. It's a drink that we've had many a time.
Many times.
And then Cal goes and meets Jacob at the mall the next day. Mm-hmm. He's wearing like his typical like clothes.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What's wrong? Something wrong with your feet? Like, your feet broken?" He's like, "What?" He's like, "Oh no, these are my 407s."
Yeah. I had like 406s. They were gray though.
Oh, I have a
not
pair.
the white ones. Yeah.
Of New Balance lawn shoes.
Nice. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You do.
I do.
Are they 407s?
I think they're like 405s, but they're the white and blue ones. You know,
Nice.
the true dad shoe.
So much.
And
they
I
corner
paint 'em
so
green.
well. Yeah.
Paint 'em green every summer.
Yeah. In circles
And-
apparently in the
Yeah,
backyard.
they are very comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I thought I was like, oh, this is a funny joke. But when I bought a pair, like,
Yeah.
as a joke, they're something to try on. And actually, the Air Force gives those out, or they used to, in basic training for your
as part of their
PT
birth
shoes.
control.
Yeah.
Here's your glasses.
Yeah.
Here's your 407s.
But yeah, they are comfortable. I would recommend them if you are
Okay.
into yard work.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't wear them out in public.
I know what I'm asking for
They
Christmas.
are great for the
Maybe
backyard.
Father's Day,
For
actually.
like $40, man. Comfortable pair of shoes. And so somehow he gets him off his feet. I don't even remember seeing him bend down to like take him off his feet.
Yeah, I don't either.
And chucks him down to like the lower level of
Lower
the mall.
concourse, yeah.
And he's walking around barefoot the rest of the
Yeah, you could have hurt somebody.
day. He could have. And then
Strong move.
Yep. And then they pretty much redo his whole wardrobe.
Yeah.
And just racking up his credit card. And he's got the classic teenage wallet, Velcro. I don't think I've had one of those since I was like my first wallet. Might have been Velcro.
I don't even think I got into middle school with a Velcro wallet.
Yeah.
I mean,
But he's still rocking one.
Yeah.
And he's got to be 50 in this movie, 50.
40.
Well, no, because they had their one kid at 17.
Yeah, they had young 17.
So they're probably in their
But
late
she's
30s.
like 25. So he's 42. Let's just call it
Yeah,
that.
mid 40s.
Yeah.
Solved that. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that. That's math.
It was on the fly. And they're going through all this stuff. And then at one point, Jacob's like looking at Cal's face. Mm-hmm. It's like, man, that skin under your eyes is really starting to look like
Oh, you have nerds ball
you
sack.
have ball sack.
We're going to have to go to an explicit rating on this
Yeah.
pod, Roy.
Oh my god, that was so funny. Like, it's like, who even thinks of that, you know? Like, who would look at another, like this close too, probably, if
Yeah.
not closer in the scene, and just like, man, that skin under your eyes really looks like someone's ball sack, you know?
The way you say it to me, it's got me.
The springs tear to your eyes. You need to go get some of your wife's lotion. Yeah. And then that's where I ended my first 30 minutes.
Oh, that's the first 30, huh?
That was the first 30, yeah.
Well, let me get these bad boys out here. My notes.
It gets pretty funny here if you took notes to where I told you to start.
Oh, man.
So I didn't write them down because I'm like, I'm going to entrust you to get this next scene.
Okay, here. So it's another one of those flashes. So we flash to Emily copying Divorce for Dummies book at work.
Yeah.
Linderhagen, there we go.
You got it
Yeah.
spelt out like pronunciation.
Well, I voice all my stuff here, so I've got Lundhagen and Linderhagen.
You're going to get there.
So we'll figure
Close
it out.
enough.
He walks in. They have a quick conversation. I don't think it's anything really notable.
No.
Then basically you flash to the high school next, where the son, Robbie, is texting the babysitter in class. Rather inappropriate stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And she shuts him down, which she's done like
Every single time. Every step of the
opportunity.
way.
And then he gets like selected to answer
The Scarlet Letter.
They're talking about the A in the Scarlet
Yeah.
Letter, yeah. And he just stands up and he's like, well, he says,
He's like, you want to talk about the Scarlet Letter?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. He's like, well, it stands for asshole. These asshole and this asshole, and just a whole, like, every student starts turning around looking at him.
Like 8 or 9 times he says it, like, and with some umph.
Yeah.
Some pizzazz.
He let it fly.
Yeah.
And then he's like, do you have any questions about what I said? Something like that.
And she sends him to the principal's office.
Yeah.
As she should.
So he's busted. The son, so he gets sent to the principal, then the mom shows up, picks him up from work, basically, and they have a quick conversation when they're in the office, and Emily's like, oh, how's your dad? And Robbie's like, well, he's sad, he's not happy, but he's going out a lot. He said, Robbie goes, he Googled moms crying in bed. and she's like, oh God, don't Google that.
She's like, oh, what did it say? He's like, well, it probably not a lot of, like,
women in bed crying.
Not appropriately.
Linderhagen walks in as the mom leaves to go get something, and the kid, like, is in a swivel chair, like, faces him right on.
Yeah.
And that's where you get the first, like, okay, Linderhagen. And then Linderhagen goes, it's Hagen, or whatever. It's vice versa. And he goes, whatever, Hagen. Yeah. Like, my dad is better than you in every possible way, and my mom still loves him, just so you know. I like this kid's, like...
Yeah, I like him there. The rest of the movie creeps me out.
Yeah, the rest, he's gonna get arrested.
Yeah.
Or should
I don't think he's gonna make it very far in life.
Okay, and now we flash back to Cal and Jacob getting tuned up.
Yeah.
They're in the gym. Cal is doing basic lifts and stuff, probably from direction from Jacob. Jacob's doing, like, upside down
push-ups,
crazy stuff, leaning against the mirror. You kind of flash to the end of their workout, and
they're, like, in the locker room.
Steve Carell's kind of sitting there like just a teenager that's super uncomfortable, and Jacob's standing there with one leg up on the
Captain Morgan,
stool.
full-on Captain Morgan pose.
Just in the nude.
Yep.
He's got his Chavez or whatever hanging out.
Swans.
Cal, my schwan's been in your face for 20 minutes. Doesn't make you uncomfortable. There's a problem. So he's really on this huge lecture of basically like getting his manhood back and all of that. It goes from being nude in the locker room to then into the steam room. Where you can kind of tell Cal is starting to lose it a little. He's getting a little wobbly. And Jacob goes, oh, you're going to pass out now, aren't you? I wish I could hear his voice again, because I swear I had the impersonation really good last night. And then he passes out just straight onto his schwans. You have anything to add to that scene? I know you liked it.
That was good. Well, that's when you called me and it was like, oh yeah, are we gonna do the 30-minute thing, or are we doing this other way? I'm like, well, I think the 30-minute way, and this is like 39 minutes.
That's right, yeah.
And so I'd already written down the notes for it,
right?
And so I'm like, no, you got to start right where this scene ends, and then pick up right here.
We were gonna change up the format to make things run smoother, I guess, but I don't know. You can fast forward if you don't want to listen.
Yeah, it would have been overcomplicated. And probably 3 times as long.
That's how all of my plans go. They like start off really basic and basically work, and then I complicate them to the point where it's so confusing it doesn't work.
We actually have an episode out there that was so long unreleased because it was just so out of control.
You know everything about that movie, though.
Oh yeah, we pretty much did like scene for scene, shot for shot,
how much it made, who the cast was, what other roles those actors did.
It was too much, so it'll never see the light of day.
Should we reveal what it is, or maybe we'll just
no, it's just going to be a mystery.
The lost episode.
Yep. Maybe someday when we make it famous.
Our own intro, the intro from episodes probably 3, 4, maybe 2, 3, and 4 are from that lost episode, though. All right, you flash back to the bar. That's where you kind of first see the new Cal.
Yeah.
He's got his garb on, his own drink. Which I couldn't tell if it was a margarita or like a gimlet type thing.
I think it was probably closer to a gimlet.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Because it was in like a tall cylinder.
I saw mint in no, I thought it was like in the
there was some
Old
fruit
Fashioned
in there.
glass. Huh.
I don't remember. There were so many drinks in that movie.
Yeah.
Like we're at like 10 old fashions by now.
Yeah, and okay, so Jacob goes, "Yeah, I think you're ready, Cal."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Look at me. I'm good in bed. I got the good looks. Like I can pull this off. You're good. You're stable. You're employed. You got a nice head of hair."
Yeah.
Actually, he says the head of hair thing earlier, but you're a good employed adult. And then Jacob, Cal's like, "I can't do it. I can't do it." And he goes, "Cal, what do I do? What's the first thing I do?"
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, you buy a girl a drink, no matter what. If she wants it, if she doesn't, you buy the girl a drink." And then he basically goes through every step of what he does, and you can kind of see Jacob sit back and go,
just so proud of himself.
"Yep, I did it." And then he goes, "You Miyagi'd me, didn't you?"
Yeah.
Because he didn't think he didn't know all the steps, but it turns out he does. And then he gets introduced to Marissa Tomei's character, who's, what's her name? Do you have any idea?
Yeah,
Teacher?
it's Kate.
Kate? Okay.
I made sure to get in there, even though she's only in like a few scenes.
Yeah, she's only in a few scenes, but that's where you get the meme. I was watching with my wife, and it's if you type in the "you got it," it'll come up with him with his drink doing that. So she was pretty psyched that she saw that.
Nice.
Cal starts talking to Marissa Tomei, Kate, about kind of going through the rules. He's really butchering it. She's like getting more irritated as he does it.
He's like, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" "Oh, what do you do?"
Yeah.
"Oh, no, you tell me." It's like, "You're really not going to tell me what you do?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, what do you do?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm a teacher." He's like, "Boring." Not interesting enough.
Right.
Like, completely being a douche.
Yeah, that was, I mean, you wouldn't use the same rules that you use for like a 22-year-old girl getting drunk in there than this older woman. She's a fox, She's out there hunting. So he's like, "Okay, fine. I got like 18 layers of clothes on, sweating." And they smooth things out, and he ends up taking her home to his new apartment. It's a pretty awkward sex scene that comes up.
There's some weird...
She's got some pent-up things.
Yeah, she really likes his honesty.
He's basically just saying honest quips.
Yeah.
I want to show you.
I feel like this could have also been a scene out of 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah, totally. It actually almost is there.
Yeah.
Like, totally is.
But it's pretty funny.
It's funny. He's like, "I want to show you to my ex-wife," so she gets jealous, and she's like, "Oh, yes."
Yeah. She leaps on him onto the couch.
Importantly, when she leaves, she's like, "You're going to call me, right?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yep.
Yeah.
I'll give you a call." Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so we're back at the bar, and it's kind of a montage of Cal being a ladies' man,
just knocking them out one after one.
This one, that one. Jacob's all proud.
Getting younger each time.
Yeah. They're, Jacob's like, they're talking as equals now. You flash to the babysitter, getting some advice from one of her high school girls that dates older guys. She gives her some advice.
Another awkward scene.
Couldn't imagine.
Especially if you're an adult and a parent.
Yeah. She basically gets, the other girl says, like, take some pictures of yourself.
Yeah. Some very
the FBI is listening to this.
Yeah.
We would never do this.
Yeah.
So take some scantily clad pictures with your
face.
sexy face on and send them to him. And then that they go through school a little bit and come to a part where Robbie is in the courtyard, like surrounded by a magician's
like a big
shroud
curtain.
or whatever, curtain. Yeah. Jessica sees him from across the way and basically knows exactly what's going to happen.
It looks like they're going to unveil a statue. Like, this curtain is so big.
The curtain drops down, showing Robbie, and he's like, "Jessica, I've loved you my whole life. I've loved you from this first time you changed my sister's diaper." And she just freaks out, runs over there, pulls him off the podium, and she's like, "No, I can't be with you. I can't. I'm in love with an older man." And Robbie goes, he does like the perfect ninth grader thing. "If he hurts you, I'll kill him."
Yeah.
And then you kind of see Robbie being all sad and walking away.
Well, his little heart was broken. His little creepy...
This little creepy ass
heart
heart.
Was broken.
So Cal has this weird dream that he wakes up that Linderhagen is mowing the backyard.
Mowing his yard.
Emily is like all like getting the wind blowing in her face and
He's
stuff.
clipping his roses.
He's mowing another guy's yard, literally.
How dare he?
So he wakes up. He sneaks into his own backyard. He's really going to town on this lawn.
Yeah.
Like, treating it nice. He's got the spiked shoes
Yep,
for
aerating, fertilizing.
Like
the fancy fertilizer that you put the hose on, too.
Yeah. It's going after it. You would think she'd hear the hose running.
You would think.
But,
well, it's a two-story house, so she might have been on the top story.
True. Very reasonable way that could have happened.
Solve that mystery.
Let's see here. And then you flash from that. I don't think anything comes of that. He basically does it and gets out, and then you flash to him playing catch with his son in kind of like the weirdest playing catch way you possibly could.
In like an apartment parking lot.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta, he's probably 15 years old. Like, you should be able to do the full arm throw, not like this little dart.
Well, they didn't seem like they're that far away.
Still, you gotta give it to him.
Yeah. We're not talking Sandlot here. We know how that ended.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a T-bone to the face.
So they compare notes. Basically, Cal's like, go after, just go after her.
Yeah.
Never stop. Just be a creeper, be a stalker.
Yeah.
Throw caution to the wind.
Never give up.
Never give up. Does make you think of that advice. Like, that is kind of what you hear. If you want something, go get it no matter what. But nowadays, it's like, if you...
That wasn't even that long ago.
Someone starts saying...
This was 2011.
No. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, it's got...
Look,
that whole storyline
so much, it's weird.
That storyline is so weird with the underage thing.
Yeah. It's weird. Let's move on.
Yeah.
So Cal and Emily are meeting at Robbie's school for parent-teacher night. It's kind of like where they meet the teacher, go over the grades and issues, and part of a school meeting with all the parents. Mm-hmm. They're carrying on back and forth in front of his class, and you can tell they're like hitting it off really well for the most part, and should just get back together.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just get back together at this point. Cal kind of starts to blame himself for her cheating. It gets a little hairy there. But anyway, they go in to meet the teacher. The teacher opens the door, who is Marissa Tomei.
Yeah.
And it's
a real shock and awe.
She's not holding anything back. Like,
No.
she's not going to play it cool and let him out of this one.
When they both see each other, though, it's the different reactions, like scared and angry at the same time. Yeah. And he's like, oh, no, this... I'm like, no. And she's like, oh, do you know each other? And he's like, yeah, last year's parent-teacher conference, I think. She's like, did I miss last year?
Why wouldn't you say he wasn't in this class last year?
Yeah, I don't know.
Stupid. So I didn't really take specific notes on that part, but they're really going back and forth. And
it starts off like she tries to keep it like professional.
Yeah.
Kate does.
Right.
And then...
But she keeps asking like little questions that you have to lie about or answer in a way that's like, well, that's not how you really are.
And then she's like, okay, well, your son is the record holder for most times someone has said asshole in class. And then she goes on a huge rant.
Yeah.
Calling him an asshole for like not calling her, like lying to her.
Right.
Because now he looks like he's married, even though he said they were divorced or whatever.
Typical. I kind of feel like that's how it would happen in
real life.
Like, because you're all adults. The kid isn't there.
Yeah.
Like, why hold any? You don't owe him anything.
And then he's like, oh. And then Emily's like, wow, I can't believe this. And the child's like, she's an alcoholic.
Yeah. I love that part.
They run out. And then she's like, 5 years sober, asshole.
That's a good point. And then they're kind of having a fight. The rain starts to come
out
down.
In the parking lot.
Every time he starts coming up in real life, it just crashes down on him. And that's my hour and 30, Roy.
Yeah, that was your first hour.
I just actually just read my next thing on the paper. It says hour 30 mark. So no, that was my my segment.
All right.
And did you want another? Should we go for back-to-backers here?
It's Friday night.
We're consenting
got
adults.
Nothing to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
Normally we're doing this at like we try to do it around like 2 on Saturdays.
We should talk about the drink.
Yeah.
We haven't.
Or you do it. Yeah.
You can do it.
No, you talk about the drink.
Okay. All right. Let me get warmed up here.
This is a good intermission halfway through the movie here.
The Old Fashioned. So let's read from the book again here. This is Cocktails of the Movies. I think this is the first time we've had it out on the YouTube channel. Because no matter what, like, of this time of the podcast, I forget an ingredient or the book or something. This time I forgot the teaspoon measuring thing, so I had to freehand it. Anyhow, let's see here. The Old Fashioned first appears in the earliest popular cocktail book in 1862. Here it is listed as a whiskey cocktail. Yep. And the ingredients are the same, except for the non-specific mention of whiskey, rather than named the variants such as bourbon or rye. We made it with rye. I think I kind of prefer... Well, no, actually...
It's all good.
I like the Four Roses.
Yeah. This is our rye we normally use for Manhattans.
Or Sazeracs.
This is Sazerac rye from Buffalo Trace. Also what the Grand Hotel downtown uses.
Yeah. You just have to...
Be a little...
Sir, what's in this Manhattan, if you don't mind me asking?
If you ever want to embarrass your wives at a fancy establishment, corner the waiter and ask them what they put in their drinks.
Are you sure you got the proper amount of bitters in this? This is a fresh bottle of bitters.
Yeah.
So nowadays, of course, it's a vintage cocktail. It's served with a thick bottom tumbler for which the drink is named in old-fashioned glass. You basically... You do a sugar cube, 3 dashes of Angostura bitters. I've always struggled with that one.
Your guess is as good as mine.
It's tough. I've heard it said 1,000 times in videos, and I still screw it up. Angostura bitters, 3 dashes of that. I usually go like 2.5 ounces of bourbon or rye or whatever we got, and then a little teaspoon of water. Your ice melts down in there, but I don't know. I think it helps. It helps dilute the sugar cube anyway. So you muddle that all together, stir it around, and then you add your ice cube. Stir it around, get it nice and cold, and then, oh my gosh.
You were just reading the ingredients in the book.
No, I forgot the orange peel.
Oh. Well, there's supposed to be an orange peel. And then a maraschino cherry. Or no, these aren't maraschinos. These are... Well, they are. They're like really fancy maraschino cherries.
I have failed the old-fashioned.
Well, you know, I didn't notice.
When you got here, I had everything set up so nice.
Well, you know, I'm sure there'll be another movie with one end.
No, this is my last podcast.
That's what you call it.
I'm done. Well, yeah, so you do an orange peel, express it over the drink, put it in there. It really, I mean, that's my favorite part of the drink.
Apparently not. You didn't notice until just now.
I didn't notice it at all.
Well.
The Sazerac's really tasty.
Maybe when we get big, we'll just hire a professional bartender to come here and do all this for us.
Wow, what a nightmare. So, yeah, I mean, it's really, it adds a lot to it.
Yeah.
Never drink an old-fashioned without one.
Until today. Yeah. And I find that hard to believe.
It's
not even at the lake?
I didn't even start drinking these till we...
Oh. Because we've had some pretty rough Manhattans.
Yeah.
That's a different day. That's a long story.
Okay. So did I cover the drink good enough here?
Yep. And then you embarrass yourself with your bartending skills.
I can't believe that. That's so frustrating.
Oh, maybe it's time for me to take over the reins.
It'd be nice, you know. You learned from me, so I'm not expecting too much better.
Oh, man.
Tasty drink, though. One of my favorites.
It is good.
You know, if I'm going whiskey, it's the Manhattan, the Old Fashioned, and then the Sazerac. The Sazerac is just so unique of a drink. I really like it. But I think Old Fashioned's a little...
It's good.
So classic.
It's good. So we get done with this huge fight, and then... it's raining, and then it cuts to Hannah as a celebration party for her passing either her bar exam or just completing her law degree. They never really specified what she was studying for.
Right.
But it's one or the other because she's going to be a lawyer. And her boyfriend at the time, who's played by Josh Groban, which I thought was weird.
I thought I recognized him.
Yeah, it's Josh Groban, the opera singer guy that has 2 hits.
Yeah, Christmas songs.
Yeah.
The Hallelujah type.
Yeah. So anyways, he's her boyfriend, it appears, or something. They're celebrating, and he starts doing this speech like he's going to propose. Mm-hmm. And then she's kind of thought of this earlier in the movie. They touch on it a little bit, and she's like, I hope it's not at this place. It's a sleazy, his Mexican restaurant type place. And he goes, I want to ask you to become a full-time
Partner.
lawyer at his firm.
Yeah.
And she's like, you fucking kidding me? Like, I thought you were going to propose to me. And then she reaches over to some guy's drink and just chugs it down.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, is this gin? And he's like, yeah. It's like, oh, straight gin.
Straight gin.
And chugs it down. And then does she drink somebody else's drink too?
I think
that
it's
time?
just the gin. It takes her like 4 drinks to get it down.
And then he's like, oh, what's wrong? He's like, I thought you were going to propose to me. And he's like, oh, I don't know.
I don't know
like,
why you would think that.
Yeah, I need to take some time and think about this.
Yeah.
So that even more infuriates her. And so then she runs out of this
Because
restaurant.
they've already been dating forever or whatever. It's implied.
So she runs out of the restaurant, and then next thing you know, she's at the bar
Yeah.
where Jacob is, and he's like hitting on some girl already.
Yeah.
And she comes in there and pretty much says like, you, me, let's go. Like, bring me back to your house, and you're going to bang my brains out or something like that.
Right.
And he's just like, wow, I've never had this. He's like kind of shocked. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's the one girl that like shot him down in the movie so far, and now she's like ready to take him on right then and there. And so she's like soaking wet, so she must have ran the whole way there because it was like raining outside.
Yeah.
So he goes and like they start making out in the bar.
Ooh, sorry.
And then quiet, sir. On the set. Quiet on the set.
I'm
Right?
all liquored up here trying to make another drink.
Yeah.
All I can think about is orange peels.
Yeah. And then so they make out, and then he takes her off to his house.
Yeah.
And they're at his place, and this is when they officially show the Old Fashioned. It's been in this movie.
Right.
Like every time he's in the movie,
Yeah, I
he
think
has
that's
one in
all
his
he
hand.
drinks.
Yeah. And then tons of other drinks, like we've said over again. And he makes 2 of them, like real close up. Like
It's downright sexy.
yeah.
Like,
If you're into making cocktails, it might make you feel a little something in your
boy.
special
You
place.
get that splash of the bitters.
Yeah.
He hits the sugar cube dead in the middle.
And then muddles it just so nice.
Oh, just so nice.
But yeah, so it's a real intimate making of 2 Old Fashions. And then he brings them out to like this all glass room. Like he lives in like a mansion.
Right.
And she drinks it. She chugs it down, and then she makes a disgusting face. And she's like, oh, that's not my drink. And then she grabs his and chugs that down. Pretty much makes the same
like,
thing.
That's not my drink
She's
either.
like, oh, that's not my favorite.
Why would he make 2 old fashions and not ask her what she wanted?
Well, maybe that's just all he has at his house. That's all he drinks.
It's rude, man.
I thought he was. I mean, he's already in. She came to him,
Can't
asking
believe
for it.
We don't have orange pills here.
Don't let it ruin the day, Ryan.
I know. I got to move on.
We can get them later.
I was like, because I was already like, okay, I don't have the measuring spoon, but I happen to have my water.
Yeah.
And Roy doesn't mind swap and spit with me, so I'll just pour it in.
Yeah. This guy has stuck his finger in so many drinks that I've drank. and like twigs out camping.
Oh,
and
man.
who knows what else.
We drink too much, Roy. You know, I can start getting, I'm like the Sesame Chef. For sure.
And then they end up just talking the whole night, and you find out that he's like a TV like show shopaholic, and like he has every as seen on TV thing, like the slap chop and some coin bears like with the 50 state quarters in their foot or something.
The back massager.
Yeah, the big massage chair that you see at like the mall.
He spent $5,000 on it or whatever and used it twice.
And then they just have this huge talk, like then it gets like personal, intimate, everything. Real sweet moment for him because he's just been like this playboy this whole time.
Is that where he asks her to
ask a
him
personal
something?
question? Yeah, like ask me something personal because they've just been talking about just shopping, weird random crap. And then she asks about his parents, and he answers, but very vaguely.
Right.
And then he pretty much says his dad passed away, but he was good with money or something. That's how he has all that money. He doesn't work. He just inherited it all.
It's not a good recipe, Roy.
No.
Womanizer recipe there.
Yeah. But yeah, so then he ends up falling asleep, and then they don't do it. And Emma tucks him in.
Yeah.
Or Hannah in the movie. So yeah. And wait, no, I missed the part when she asked about his big move. Like, what's your big move?
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, Dirty Dancing. She's like, what? He's like, the scene in Dirty Dancing, the big dance move? He's like, I do that. And then the girls just die for it.
Yeah, they just love it. They turn on the
And then
music.
she's like, I wouldn't die for that.
Yeah.
And then she's like, well, do it. Like, I want to see it now. And they do it. Not literally, but they do the big push-up move.
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze. But yeah.
I think the YouTube people are going to be disgusted at the way I'm making these.
Well, welcome to my life, people. This is how I've been drinking cocktails for the last 3 years.
Oh, Lord.
You just get what you get.
Oh.
And most of the time, they're drinkable.
I will say my hands are clean.
Ish.
I mean, I can't say too much because it's
Yeah.
all recorded on YouTube.
Yeah. And then,
Definitely scratched my nose a time or two.
yeah. And then it cuts to David and Emily having dinner, like, at a restaurant. And she's talking about, like, how she wants to be a ballerina when she was little or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'd love to take you to the ballet. And she's like, oh, you love ballet? He's like, no, I said I'd love to take you to the ballet. And then, like, I'll come pick you up when it's over. Then we could go catch, like, a ball game or something at the park. And I thought that was pretty good. But still not a fan of good old Kevin Bacon, David, in this homewrecker, if you will.
I've been in the situation,
Yeah.
as a kid.
Yeah,
Bullshit.
that's true. Sorry to bring up.
Yeah, thanks for bringing up
Tough
my
emotions.
tough life, man.
But and then it cuts to Cal once again being a creeper in the middle of the night, taking care of his yard. Yeah. And then this is after the date, so David had taken Emily home at this point, and there was a weird, awkward moment with the babysitter. When she answers the door, she's like, "Oh," and she's like, "Oh, this is just my work buddy, David. Like we were just going over some work things." And the babysitter's like, "Oh, I don't want your slut money," or something like that.
Yeah.
Or hooking money or something
I like
that.
how she's just fully still in love with Cal enough to insult the wife.
Yeah, and she's like, "What are you talking about? Like, what?" And she storms off, and then she goes inside. And Cal's in the backyard, like mowing the yard, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how she wouldn't hear that.
He's going to town.
Yeah, he's doing something again.
Maybe it just sounds so natural for
Yeah.
her.
And then Emily calls him on the phone.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Now he's in the backyard talking to her, looking at her, like in the dining room.
He can see her, but she can't see him.
And then he's like, "Oh, what's going on?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just trying to reignite the
pilot
light on the furnace."
Water heater,
The
furnace.
And he's like, "Oh, okay, well, are you downstairs?" She's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm in the basement." While he's looking at her the whole time.
It's my favorite part of the movie.
It's a cute moment because then that's when he realizes, like, there's still hope.
Yeah.
Like, she still loves me. Like, she's calling me just to hear my voice.
Yeah, he knows that she's
lying.
just calling to talk. Yeah.
And I don't even know if what he said was true about how to start a pilot light because I never had to do it.
I think it was relatively close, but I was thinking during the whole scene, like, you could have drawn it out for like 45 minutes. Like, no, you need to find the other lighter.
And so
I don't like the green-handled one because it doesn't light. You could have really
and so that was a nice little moment in the movie. Like, it kind of
very
brings
sweet.
you back to square.
And it's flipping Steve Carell just slaying that type of. He's just so damn.
He's a good actor.
Charismatic. Like he just. Yeah, he's a goddamn genius.
Yeah. And so things are starting to look up for everybody, but nobody knows where Jacob is because Cal can't get a hold of him.
Yeah, he's left like 9,000 messages.
Yeah, it's a strange thing in the movie.
Yeah.
Between Cal and Jacob.
Yeah, now they're like old-time buddies and friends, and he's going to call him enough times that not take a hint.
Like, it's good. They have a good relationship. And that comes by them real quick. And then it cuts to good old Jacob and Hannah in a liquor store. He's like, "Man, I don't know what to do." Because now he's asking Cal for advice because he's trying to get into the relationship game,
Right.
Because he's found the one, he thinks.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Oh, I'm meeting her mom today, and like, I don't know, like, what do you do? Like, I don't know." And then Cal has like his dad moment.
Yeah.
He's taken over control. The student has become the teacher.
Right.
And he's like, "Well, you just gotta be yourself, be natural.
Yeah.
And just, just be you."
Mm-hmm. And then, like, he gives him shit at first, like, you're screwed.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you'll be fine.
Then he becomes a dad, caring guy.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Cal is like in a hardware store now all of a sudden with his kids, and they're buying all this stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then
preparation.
he runs into the babysitter's dad.
Yeah.
He's looking at drapes or something.
Yeah. He
And,
walks right past him though, doesn't he?
He's like, "Oh, I'm busy trying to make something for my wife.
Yeah.
Trying to win her back."
Right. Yeah. Now I remember that.
And then it goes from there to their backyard, Cal and Emily's backyard.
Yeah.
And somehow, it couldn't have been more than a couple hours. He has built a full-on miniature golf course like hole with
Painted.
a windmill and everything.
Everything.
I don't think it's
not buying
no
it?
way. No way. One man.
He's got that
That
really
fast.
artsy teenager that might have helped.
I don't think so. He was too
Dad,
busy.
you have to love the wood.
Yeah.
Okay, if you loved it, it would put itself together.
Yeah. And then at the same time,
I'd agree.
the mom the babysitter is up cleaning her room.
Mm-hmm.
And she finds a little letter
Oh man.
full of
The mom of the babysitter. Yeah.
full of some naked photos of
Yeah.
her. And she goes, "Oh no, vajayjay." And she runs downstairs and shows the dad
Yeah.
of the babysitter, and he's
He's
full
seeing
on
red.
rager.
Yeah.
Which I would understand.
Yeah.
If you think like they're addressed to your old friend.
So the outside of the envelope has Cal written on
Yeah.
it, and then the pictures are inside of it.
Yeah. And then he like storms out like a raging bull.
Yeah.
And gets in his car, and the girl follows her dad in another car,
Yeah.
almost caused an accident, like in an intersection.
Yeah, going right through red
Yeah.
lights.
And
Never
then
a
you're-
good idea.
Yeah. Then you're back in the backyard.
Mhm.
It's just a lot of stuff going on in this little
Yeah.
scene here. And Emily's blindfolded. The kids are walking out to the backyard. Cal's dressed in a nice suit.
Things are looking
Yeah.
nice
And
at
there's,
this
like,
point.
Music from when they were like in high school, like prom or something
Yeah.
going on. He starts having this real sweet speech.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the background, you see Hannah walk through, and this is the first time that you put it all together that
Right.
Hannah is their kid, Cal's kid.
Right.
And then right behind her, good old Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And they're both like shocked, like, well, what are you doing
Yeah.
here, man? Like,
They're so shocked that they can't play it off. Like,
yeah, they can't say why they know each other.
They're like, what? Yeah. Everyone knows that they know him.
Yeah. And then Emily's getting impatient because she's still got the blindfold on. She's like, oh, I want to see him.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm taking this thing off. I can't do it. And she's like, oh, wow, nice.
Yeah.
And then they're still going back and forth like, oh, no, nope. No, it's just like
Yeah.
on The Office when he's like, no.
Yeah.
He's like, you can't, this won't not happen.
Right.
And then she's like, oh, you really know each other, don't you?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there's a fight between,
I mean, how far did you go?
I'm almost there.
Jesus,
Or we can
Roy?
go to your last 30 minutes.
Okay, that's fine. It's fine.
You want me to finish this?
No, wait. Actually, I see where I started.
Okay. And then the dad shows up. The babysitter's dad shows up, runs across the whole yard, spears him to the ground.
Yeah.
And then Jacob's like, oh, God, like, he's still my friend,
Yeah.
even though this is real awkward between them. And he's pretty
Right.
much saying, you can't date my daughter. And then the dad of the babysitter punches him.
Right.
And then, if you think it couldn't get any worse, here comes good old David through the driveway.
Yeah.
And then Jacob goes and punches him and says, how dare you, all that you put this family through.
He goes. Linderhagen goes. Emily, I got your sweater.
Yeah.
And somebody says his name.
Oh, I
and
think all the guys do.
Everyone goes David Linderhagen, and they forget everything in the current moment. The dad of the daughter knows that's the one that broke up the marriage.
Yeah.
Steve Carell obviously knows, and Jacob's like goes after him and
Yeah.
punches him.
And now I'm done, Ryan.
Okay, now you're
here's
done.
your last 20 minutes.
Okay, now, all right. I don't want to stop this scene, but I wrote a little note before this next part.
All right.
At this point, Roy is turning the movie over to me. I need to wrap up approximately 5 storylines. I'm 3 Dubonnays in, and I'm sipping on a Coors Banquet Bear.
Oh, wow.
So
See how this goes.
here it goes.
This roller coaster might go off the tracks here.
Those Dubonnays I kind of like them.
Yeah.
They're good. All right, so yeah, we've gone with the fight. Funny part in that, like Jacob punches Linderhagen.
Yeah.
Cal tackles Jacob.
Yeah.
And says, "You stay away from my daughter."
Yeah.
The dad of the other daughter tackles Cal and says, "You stay away from my daughter." Then Linderhagen grabs Jacob and is like, "I don't even know you."
Yeah.
And this is how much of a man Jacob is, Ryan Gosling. There's like all 3 of these guys
Yeah.
waffling around. They're not even falling over till the end. The guy's a beast here. Okay, so the cop shows up. You know, they're all kind of embarrassed, humiliated, shamed, whatever. And, clears the scene. So Cal basically screws it up. You know, he's right about to do this special thing,
Yeah.
messes it all up. upsets his new best friend, puts his daughter in a tough position. Wife was going good, now it's going bad. His son ends up just saying, like, go home, Dad.
Yeah, like, you've done enough.
I could only imagine, like, Carter's a year younger than that kid.
Yeah.
And I could just imagine him, like...
Thinking that the one he loves is in love with his dad.
Yeah, and that's right. He screwed his son, too,
Yeah.
by... so that's tough. Let me just see what I got here. Okay. I guess there's only about 18 minutes left in the movie. But you're kind of wrapping it up. It goes through a montage of, the people that are wronged are starting to feel better. The people that are happy are starting to feel sadder. Kind of just everything's leveling out. I'm clearly trying to buy time here to find where I was left off.
You're great note-taking.
Because Roy took over my first whole paragraph here.
Well, I had a timer on my brand new phone.
You just put pause on the screen, then you'll see.
No, I don't want to do with that.
You
I put
have
a
to
timer on my
pause.
phone.
I pause every 5
And then when
seconds.
it goes off, then I know.
I'm like, how long has it been?
My turn's
it's
over.
only been 2 minutes? Okay, I'll keep
I
watching.
need to get a better system.
All right. So, montage. Okay. Cal is back at the bar drinking, just kind of having a rough
Slumming it. He's
rough
wearing like
time.
a tracksuit.
Yeah, nice sweat. So Jacob shows up. He's like, "Oh, nice sweatsuit," and he basically asks for
Permission.
Cal's approval again, and Cal's like, "I know you too good." I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I can't.
It's like, I'll never give you my...
I'll never give it to you.
Yeah.
So, why would Cal not tell Emily about all of this?
Because they're friends. They're still friends.
He's her dad.
I know, but still.
Like
I think deep down inside he's like, no, I'm going to win him over again like I did the first time we met. Like, he trusts me to change his life. He'll eventually trust me again.
Oh, Jake, you mean... I'm talking from Cal's perspective. Why wouldn't Cal tell Emily, like, who Jacob really is?
Oh.
This womanizer
Because
banging every piece of meat coming in the...
He's already caused enough problems.
Oh, okay.
Fine. He's still trying to climb back up the hill he just fell down.
I guess you just
And if you told him that, then it'd probably just make things even worse.
You got to give those two kids a chance, I guess.
Love
So
always finds a way.
the scene ends with, Jacob goes, "You're a good dad."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he accepts that he's not going to give him the approval at this point. Kind of flash to the 8th grade graduation. Cal walks in, notices that there's one seat open by his family.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Oh, should I or should I not?" And then Jacob shows up and goes and sits in it.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Okay, I'm chopped liver and
Yep.
I deserve it." Goes up, sits in the upper part of the stands. Robbie gets announced by his teacher, Marissa Tomei, as one of the
Valedictorian.
spirited valedictorians.
I don't believe it.
No, you're not buying
You go
it?
on a 8 asshole rant in the middle of class and you still get to be valedictorian? I don't see it happening.
it's straight A's. It just has to do with your grades.
But how do you not get docked for having a huge outrage like that in class?
You'd think he would have missed an assignment. Maybe during a suspension he got caught up in all
I don't know.
assignments.
I think there's some holes in this
All
story,
right.
Ryan.
All right. Well,
And that's one of them.
if there's a hole, it definitely has to do with the son and the weird daughter there. So he gets up to the podium. He starts giving this speech about love. It's kind of one of those teenager speeches that irritates me. But love is this, love is that, love is going to screw you. It starts off good, starts really going south. Cal gets up, walks down into the podium, and he grabs the mic. "What are you doing, Dad? What are you doing here?" And he's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
So he turns around without the mic and just starts talking. The kid still has the mic. He could. Well, he turned it off, but just saying, like, the kid could have overtalked him. He kind of balls here.
He pretty much makes everything right.
Yeah,
he turns the speech around. He's like, man, it was
We could
starting to
all
be a
see that was
real
going
downer.
Yeah, I didn't take notes on what the whole speech is, but he basically smooths it all out, the speech, and wraps up the whole movie with
talks about
apologizing.
true love.
and True love.
Always finds a way.
Always finds a way.
Just like life always finds a way.
What always finds a way?
Life always finds a way.
That's right, yeah.
Jurassic Park, come on,
Tell
you
that
gotta
to
get
Mars,
back with it.
okay? Seen shit up there?
Yeah.
Okay. Then this movie is tricky because it all gets wrapped up. After the graduation, they are out in the kind of like the parking lot or whatever, and Cal runs into Jacob, and Cal goes, "I just bought a firearm from a shady internet website, and I'm prepared to shoot you in the face with it." It's a joke. They end up shaking hands, and that's kind of. And then he slaps him in the face. He's like, "Okay, it's fine." And then he gives an extra one just because he got slapped during all the training and stuff.
And then has like, "Oh, this is gonna be fun."
Yeah, which I think I could go for that sequel. That would be
just like Meet the Parents type.
Yeah,
of thing.
like how do they keep going? I don't know.
It'd be a good spinoff.
Robbie patches things up with Jessica,
the babysitter,
in the creepiest way possible. She gives him
her nudes.
The nudes, like. Oh, that must be.
That's some trust.
That's some trust. Yeah, maybe they didn't do that. Was the internet around in 2011? Roy?
Yeah, it was.
I don't quite understand why that would happen.
Deep in it in Afghanistan. Internet was working great.
So I feel like I kind of did good
pretty much
here,
how it
but
ends.
that's how it ends. It wraps up
pretty quick.
All the storylines turn out.
Everybody wins.
It ends with Cal and Emily basically making up, and Robbie kind of sees them smiling and laughing, and then end scene.
Yeah. But real quick before we move on, if you've been listening to this podcast, me and Ryan have found a glitch in the Matrix about how it seems that we cannot watch a movie without there being a connection.
Everything seems to be connected here.
So we did Tootsie last week, and then over this week we were trying to find something to watch, and the kids picked Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium. Guess who the main character is? Dustin Hoffman. And he was Tootsie. And then we did my cousin Vinny on Ozzy Tells All podcast.
Yep.
Who's in that? Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei.
And who was in this? Marissa Tomei.
I thought you were going to say Ozzy's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's Mr.
And
Tomei.
then
Yeah.
We did...
we were bored. The girls were out doing something.
Last Saturday after we recorded.
And we watched
R.I.P.D.
The Rest in Peace Department.
Yeah. And who's in that? Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon's in this one.
And we were like, man, what movies does Kevin Bacon have? And we had
didn't pick either of those.
Didn't even think of this.
Yeah.
Oh, so the connections go pretty deep.
Yeah, and we just keep finding them somehow.
I wonder if it's one of those like subliminal things, like
you don't think about, but then when you're watching movies all the time
like,
and talking about them, you're starting to figure it out.
Yeah, and then you just see them. I don't know. Maybe
like, is there really not that many actors?
Right. Yeah. Like, these are completely different movies.
Yeah.
From different
ages
eras.
apart. Yeah.
Decades.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we're on to something, Ryan.
We are going to figure this out. The conspiracy is afoot, and we will crack the code, Roy.
This might become a new podcast.
We have to. Okay, I got my papers all mixed up here, but we are ready to move on to the next segment of this podcast, which is...
Cheers. It's happy hour.
It's happy hour. I have a major development in my home bar.
Oh, do tell.
So, you know about my Facebooking?
Yes. Did you get one?
Did not get the fridge. I didn't even mention this one because they told me it was already taken last time I tried. Free countertop.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So it's red, like laminate with oak trim.
Yeah.
I called it orange. Amy calls it red.
You got it already?
I got it.
Nice.
Picked it up today. It's like 10 feet long and has like a 6-foot return.
Nice.
So
That's
and
pretty
I'll
good.
have to trim it up a little bit.
And it's already in the L shape?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll have to like readjust the 90 and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's going to be like the area where the bartender works or like the top part where the actual bar surface is.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad you got some real developments here.
ask me how much it costs, Roy. Did I already
It
say?
was free.
Free. Free.
Yeah.
Free. So
Nice.
if you ever get in line for something or on Facebook and they're like, somebody's picking it up today.
Yeah.
You have to say, call me
If they don't.
if they don't show up.
Yeah.
You can't say anything else. Not like, oh man, I was really hoping, blah, blah, blah. Like, I got a family.
Yeah, don't make it a sob story.
No, you're just direct. Like, you want it gone, call me.
Yeah.
Now, I found a glitch in my refrigerator situation.
Yeah.
So, I found it reposted again for $100.
Yeah.
She has not responded to me.
Because what did you offer? 70?
So I pulled the slow play, on Friday. She's like, I can't do 50, I'll do 75.
Mm-hmm.
So I waited till Monday or Tuesday, and I was like, okay, I can't do 75.
Yeah.
I can do 50, and I'll pick it up today or tomorrow at your earliest convenience.
Yeah.
No response. And then I realized in the picture, this fridge is in like a shop.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's not the need to get it gone isn't there.
Yeah.
Because it's
not
just in
blocking
storage.
anything. Yeah.
So now I might have to
find a new fridge.
I just gotta hope no one else buys it.
This is the old one, right?
Yeah, it's an old Frigidaire with the handle, kind of retro style for the bar. Amy doesn't even like it in the first place. Like she's like,
she doesn't
"What,
like this idea."
Backyard a shithole."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Well, it's a retro fridge. It looks cool." And there's like, you can tell it looks kind of rough in the picture, but it's mostly stickers that they've peeled off, so it's all adhesives. And I know how to clean those up. You know? Window cleaner extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Call me a fridge cleaner, Roy. So I didn't messenger. I was tempted to just be like, hey, is it still for sale?
Yeah.
Like kind of
Sound desperate, though.
just go in. Yeah, I can't do it.
Then she's got you for 75.
On the other hand, there's not a big inventory of these
Not the vintage ones.
fridges right
There's
now.
a lot of fridges on Facebook
Yeah.
Marketplace.
For like 100
Yeah.
or 50
less.
or 75. So I'm just hoping.
Yeah. I'm waiting to clean the shed out so I can know exactly how big I could really go without it being like, this is ridiculous.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So, I got some countertops.
Nice.
And I almost cleaned out that patio area. And then I was like,
No.
I gotta wait. So
I don't really have anything new because it got freezing cold again this week. Mm-hmm. And so I did not go outside to set up my new shed.
Your temporary shed for temporary
and then plus we hit it pretty hard Saturday, so I was kind of down for the count on Sunday.
Oh, I think I only had about 6 too many cocktails.
That was a fun night, though. We had
a
guys'
lot of
night,
people over,
and then the ladies came back after their ladies' night.
Right.
And we stayed till midnight.
Yeah. We were serving up just about everything.
Yeah, we did scotch.
We're turning into scotch connoisseurs.
Yeah. So maybe Sunday I'll set up that temporary shed and hopefully at least get that done if it's not ridiculous crazy.
You turn that maybe into an I guarantee it.
We're going to a concert tomorrow night, so we'll see how that turns out.
You're in a pickle, yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to rain all week.
I know.
So you're going to be... Might as well just
gonna
plan
happen,
on it
though.
Week after, yeah.
Yeah.
I
got a rain suit.
We're in March.
Yeah.
Almost.
It's getting close.
March is coming up.
But yeah, so no new developments for me. It's just too freaking cold, man.
All right, man. Well, let's keep this podcast on the rails and move to the next segment. Is that show uncapped?
We should recap it.
You're right. We should. We should.
Yeah, we should.
We will. Do it. We're going to recap this SOB just as soon as I find the right note.
Well, it's Ozark.
It's Ozark.
Season 4.
Episode
5. And last week, I thought we were halfway through. But lo and behold.
Oh, wow. Big reveal, yeah.
They just released. We haven't watched the whole season yet.
No.
Some of you probably have.
Yeah.
There's 7 more episodes coming out in April.
So we're only
and those
the first
will be
quarter.
The final. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was shocked. So I was like, we're getting close to the end. And it's
Yeah.
not quite moving as fast as I thought.
Right. We're just expecting a bloodbath in any episode.
So we could have been wrong this whole time.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so we're on episode 5. It was a good one.
It was a good one.
We find out some dirty little secrets on some people.
Yeah.
The little PI there.
He
starts
turning
off with
into
him.
one of my favorite characters.
He is going to be a game changer, I think.
Yeah.
He's not quite done with this episode, or this season.
No, he's working it pretty hard.
Let's just see how far he makes it.
Let's go, yeah. I mean, somebody's going to catch... Wendy's going to kill him. I'm just putting my...
Wendy, with this whole political thing,
Yeah.
I think she's just out for blood for everybody. Everyone's got to die. Mm-hmm. She's just the only one's got to survive.
Yeah,
and maybe Charlotte, because now in her...
They're like the same
kind of
person
bonding,
now.
yeah. So we start off with the PI, like back when he was a detective in Chicago, it seems.
Yep.
And goes to the good old evidence locker and snorts himself a little bit of the cocaine.
The devil's, not the devil's lettuce.
Nope.
Devil's baking
Is it the
soda?
white horse?
I don't know.
But yeah, so he's in the evidence locker snorting some cocaine, and then some other, like maybe the cop in charge of the evidence locker sees him.
Yeah.
And then you find out that that's why he's a PI.
And it's like, I mean, the guy's right there.
Yeah,
You're
so
not very careful.
Yeah, and there's got to be cameras in there.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Here we go. Found the notes, Roy.
nice. And then we figure that out, and then Wendy and the fixer is what I call him.
That's what I call him,
political
too.
fixer guy.
They said his name in this episode.
I know. I didn't
and
catch it, though.
I just kept it as a...
I was just like, whatever.
He's the
People
fixer.
know who he is.
Yeah.
He's the creepy guy that's always the political fixer. He
Yeah.
knows everybody, knows how to get everything.
Yeah. But for some reason has no power himself. He's the Adam Schefter of the political world.
Yeah.
He just
And
pushes...
it's her and Wendy talking to that politician about the files they got from Maya, and now everything's clear. But now it seems like they might be tangled up in some sort of scandal.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't for what they really said.
Right.
And then
Where are you talking about?
I might have skipped ahead, but it feels like that's where it was. I didn't put it in the notes, I don't think.
Yeah, that's way ahead.
Oh.
Because that's when Marty is trying to deal with the whole other drug situation, and she calls him and needs it done then, and he's like, I can't.
Oh, that's right.
I think.
So
Boy, I love just schooling you on
Yep.
your notes so hard.
Wendy brings Claire Shaw to meet with Ruth. That's next.
Wendy, what? Say that again.
Wendy brings Claire Shaw, the pharmaceutical lady,
Claire, yeah.
to meet Ruth
Yep.
at the trailer park
Yeah.
to test Darlene's heroin.
Yeah.
Because it's still Darlene's heroin.
It's at the
Ruth
casino,
is
but
just playing it off as she owns it all.
Right.
She's pretty much like,
she's trying to make the not have to deal with Darlene.
yeah, Darlene, you do it way better.
I like how that guy is like, how old is she? And
Yeah.
Marty's like,
Literally
don't
looks
underestimate her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ruth
Their
is a
relationship.
badass.
Yeah. Ruth and Marty are my favorite characters,
Yeah,
I think.
by far.
And so it turns out good. And so like, okay, we're going to do your stuff.
Yeah.
Have it here by like tonight or something like that.
Right. Charlie.
I didn't know there was a Charlie in the show.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
Charlotte
Oh.
needs Frank Jr. I don't know.
The next thing I got is Darlene tracks down Frank Jr.
Darlene needs Frank Jr. Yeah, okay. Charlie, Darlene.
Yeah, Charlene, Darlene, sure. I can see how it could have gotten there. You
trying to-
doing the whole voice? Side notes again, huh?
I do voice notes, and I try to fix them, but that would really...
Yeah, so Darlene tracks down Frank Jr. at like this rundown bar. And he's like limping because she just shot his dick off last season, I think.
I mean, why...
Yeah.
Some of it doesn't make sense. You just got to roll with it.
Yeah.
Like, he would have
And,
killed her.
Yeah, I think so too. And she talks him, and he's undermining Frank Sr. by talking to him.
Yeah.
And making him like,
because she already
get
tried
your
it,
man,
Frank Sr.
like, get your manhood back, you know, like do this and you could get like 6 to 7 digits
Yeah.
if you're lucky.
She's like, I heard there's a little more of you to love now.
Yeah.
Those doctors did a good job on you.
Yeah. Such a creepy lady.
She is.
And then he ends up saying, yeah, as long as my dad doesn't find out about it.
Right.
Because his dad's priority to talk to him like we're not doing business with her.
Yeah.
But he needs money. I mean, he's got...
It's just so much money. That's the
yeah.
problem with drugs, man.
Yeah.
And she's like, I want you to accept my apology. Mm-hmm. Oh, what? That's too much.
Yeah. And so, yeah, so they have their little thing, and that seems to be working out.
Yeah.
And then...
You flash to Marty and Wendy drive in, and they see the missing posters for the first time of Ben. You know.
Which Marty warned her.
Marty's like, I
can do
told
this
you
to
this would
yourself,
happen.
yeah.
Marty's been way too cool through this
Well,
whole first 5 episodes.
Wouldn't you be scared of her, too? Like,
she
killed her own brother, you know?
Probably.
So, yeah, I'd be a little light on my toes, too, around
It's just
her.
a little bit like, if she goes down, he goes down.
Yeah, but I don't think she'd let that happen. I think she'd find a way to get out, and he'd
Yeah.
go down.
They're both too smart.
Yeah.
So then you flash to family dinner. Wendy's accusing Jonah of putting up the posters, and he's like, it wasn't me, it was Darlene.
Yeah.
Marty finds out Charlotte skipped on the SATs and is not planning on going to college, which Wendy already knew about.
Yeah, because now she's working at the casino.
Yeah.
And she's on Wendy's good side.
It's getting a little... I think Wendy...
I think she's not thinking about the casino anymore or anybody but herself.
Yeah,
She's on her own track to get into politics or whatever the hell she's trying to do.
Yeah, it seems like that. That would explain a lot.
Yeah.
Marty ends up asking Charlotte to basically talk to Wyatt and see if the posters can get taken down.
And then who shows back up to the good old Bird residence?
Who could it be? Who could it be? Old Mr. Private Investigator.
Yep. And he's got a little theory.
Yeah, I like that he has the wrong theory. But one that it's close enough that he'll still investigate all the stuff.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. They can't like go, oh yeah, he's on the wrong track.
Yeah. They can't confirm or deny it.
Yeah.
But if I was him, I'd try to find a way to confirm it.
As they leave, he leaves after like kind of trying to figure out some more stuff.
Yeah, pretty much he thinks that Ben killed Helen.
Yeah.
And now he's out on the lam.
Yeah, and they're protecting him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, Ben had some friends in Fort Lauderdale or wherever. And so he's just building this whole world
Story.
that he knows where they're going to go. He's going to go check up on him. As he leaves, Marty goes, I hate him so much.
That's all we have for you guys today. Make sure to join our club on Facebook at Supper Club Social. Find this episode. Leave your comment and review the drink that we made today if you decide to make it or if you've had it yourself. And we will pick 1 or 2 comments and read them off on our next episode.
You can find our podcast at Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, or at our website at www.supperclubsocial.net. See you guys next time.
Have a good one.
Bye. Nice.
I didn't know I had to do my
You
part
gotta do your
again.
part again.